Yo. From the capital, the station is now the ultimate power in the universe. Overview Radio, bringing you Overview Podcast with your boy Joey Badubi Jr. It's that political episode with the OGs, with the main OG on my right, Sedirwa Kgoroba. And on my left is none other than Tsaone, aka Jaba. What's up, my nigga?
Yeah, sharp.
What's shining one?
How you feel? What you shy?
Yeah, man.
You decide.
Yeah, man. We shooting this episode straight from Mr. Sedirwa Kgoroba's beautiful home, man. Tota ke lapa la ga Memma Kgoroba's beautiful home, beautiful garden and all that. It's a good house. It's a beautiful home that you have.
Thank
Mr.
you.
OG. Yeah, beautiful house, beautiful family.
I was shy.
Yeah, man. You have done well for yourself, Mr. Kgoroba.
Not too bad, can't complain.
Yeah. Nyuko ne buijele ya Botswana.
Khase double story mona ne ke jela nyoko nke bele double story.
Kabona ke re le bo meraka o imwe.
But look, yes, you must be satisfied with the little that you have.
Yeah.
Le highly 2.5
Yeah.
It's peaceful, it's homely. And that's what we call home. Home is not only about the size or the cost. It's about the peace. And look, there's peace here.
Yeah. Definitely, I can see a beautiful wife, a beautiful home, beautiful everything.
Yeah, beautiful neighbors also.
Yeah.
You know, my neighbors, we have a very good relationship. I love my neighbors, and it's a beautiful neighborhood too.
No, definitely. Yeah. So, how did you? I mean, like to get yourself a protest, like lifestyle audit hey. So
declaration of assets.
Lifestyle audit opposition. You know, yeah. So anyway, getting into it, since I mentioned the word lifestyle audit, I remember a couple of years ago, I was like, lifestyle audit, lifestyle audit, something of that sort. What was that?
Lifestyle audit on who?
Generally, to address corruption, because I think the topic has been there hella from Nakahakama and all that up to Nakahama Sisi, because Tlabobona Jo Letsaone hella unzo ba itse hella gore imagitare sokola ro all of a sudden lifestyle change and we put our well, what is he doing? Where does he get the money? We've seen so many people, such people springing off hella sa itse go ba tswang teng, and all of a sudden ke di big gun hella motropo. So it raises eyebrows, and then it propels the question of a lifestyle audit. Yeah.
Do you think it's necessary, like do you think it's something that should be maybe I don't know if mandatory like is it something that is like that should be implemented?
You don't just
especially towards politicians.
No, no, not even politicians, even public servants. Public servants that kind of have been involved in this corruption. You don't just wake up over discovery discovery.
Come on,
so you don't just wake up because but observe my neighbor this guy, but guy, and then I start having this inklings of this guy might be involved in corruption. Then of course I have to report to the relevant authority. And then that's how it should come about.
Like that. And then like
No. Lifestyle audit is going to bring about those verifications.
I
know how to
RFQ. kana ka re gompieno tshwantse be ne se tsele mohumi wa dinaledi ga tona di farm o na le dilo tse dintsinyana ya ka o bua hela le gore o kgona go kgamala o bona motho hela ntsana le simple hela gompieno o tsamaya ka discovery.
Yeah. But one thing that I always wondered, yeah, still on this topic. One thing that Segisi Potang, Mr. Kgoroba has been an MP before, right? I always felt like there's this thing. Former President Masisi would say, the right things by the rule of law. Okay, which I think, I don't know to what extent, but some things that we have seen unfair when I did relate the rule of law. For instance, Bobanyana Farms accusation, stuff like that. I personally think that it's unfair for members of parliament the ra follow the line le bone for the same things. Wa bona, like the same jobs, like ra go bidela the same jobs le bone, because when I feel like banal some sort of advantage. You get it? And the law doesn't necessarily separate.
All their privileges are paid for. I mean,
they have privilege. Yeah.
Very proximal to influence.
Exactly.
Let's say, Kgoroba kana ha ene le mo parliament o ka nna tsala le ministera le ministera a mo thusa ka bona go kana mo ha a mo favora go hitisa
yeah, kana semama nkusida stuff like that. And most of them the MP rights or no, like the SIDA loans, like when you get into SIDA, what is not like almost all of the MPs, OZ Lane has been one of them, right? Hey, so those kind of things.
Yeah,
like, what's your take on
especially the minister? Well, my belief has been I didn't want to get involved in any business because I felt the same conflict of interest that you're talking about.
Yeah.
So yes, it would be unfair for especially people in cabinet and president and vice president to compete with the general public. Yeah, go feel example like Banyana Farms.
Yeah.
You're the president, you o tla ka mananeo a go promota batswana gore family ya bone gole kana e tokagale, and then you still go and compete with them mo tendering ya plus e tshwana le Banyana Farms. It's unfair.
Yeah. I remember even Beauty Lane I bua la khanya thing back in parliament. Honorable Manake a bua gore ta hutuna le ene kana ke motswana ka batswana ba bang. I mean, constitution, I mean, like it's the new government now. Are we like hare go bona the member of parliament ba timiwa those kind of things because when they are privileged already.
No, you know the unfortunate part ka the past BDP. You see honali mo constitutional. Constitutionally right or wrong. But there's also what is morally right or wrong.
Yeah.
Constitutionally, yes, president and minister can do that, but morally it's wrong. Yeah. So the past BDP was deficient of the moral righteousness.
Yeah. Anything to add on that?
I think yone khanyo no I bua ha bua ka bo me manake na kwati kana bone kana ha o ka ile thoko na kwati it gota ba go le very unfortunate gore ba gompieno ba ka direla ba le ka bojo go buella tautona. I think batho ba re ba thopileng ba tshwantse go nna morally upright gore ba tshwantse go nna exemplary in terms of morality le gore ba dira yang a ga le gore mo tirong ya bona di ethical ya nyanya. So gore le hangwe ele constitutionally go le siami eno tshwantse ra tse moral decision gore nya kana ha ke dirana ke tabe ke irana ke teka ale so go batla go nna politically right kana ale so go batla go justify motho antsa atlatapa a ikgarapelela.
Let's give an example ya harre mo gae le masire. You know, our constitution, the country's constitution gave them those powers. But for 17 years, Masirele Tautuna, we never knew gore constitution ya rona ya ha Tautuna di power tse di kalo. For 10 years, we never knew. We started knowing. How was it gore constitution to because they were conscious of this moral aspect of using power or abusing it or misusing it. And then ENN did not have that conscience. He started using it. And it was only after 27 years that you realize, constitution and that is when the subject of constitutional reforms and amendments started cropping into topics of discussion nationwide.
Yeah.
So it's important that moral aspect is important. Debates.
Yeah, but also,
it was a good thing that Hama did that. It was a blessing in disguise. Now so someone had
to exploit it. Do you think with the current government that we have, in all fairness, I know that in all fairness, do you think they would somehow review the constitution and redo it, and I don't know, make some new laws saying or the protect Batswana kwa lapeng?
They're quiet about it. So there's nothing to give us hope. They have good intentions to do that. State of the nation, there was nothing regarding the constitution. So on what basis? We have to hear the president talk about it. And assure us and give us timelines. Is not enough. You must give us timelines, or no. We expect by 2026 or 2027 amend the constitution. Somebody was saying to me, direct election of the president. I don't know, UDC is quiet on this thing. We want that, So UDC is quiet. They're not saying anything. So we are beginning to doubt, or will we see constitutional reforms?
Ke tshepa thata ke simola ka gore ke tshepa thata based on go ha ke ba lebeletse from a distance, like professionally ke tshepa thata integrity ya Gandaba gore ke motho ke itseng gore ke motho na le integrity. Ke tshepa thata Boko ke motho ha bua ka di constitutional reforms ke motho yo tsepameng thata, ke motho o ratang molao thata wa bona.
Boko.
Jaanong problem ke aka re gore ba bua gore nobody's mentioning it, so we should sit here and assume gore gongwe ba tla dire yalo kana ke tshwantse ke nne ha ka tshepo and 5 years ba wela hela. But then I think pressure UDC le mo gone ana, they won elections out of a lot of populist they were into populism. They threw populism over to. Now they have to deal with their populist promises, and then that's maybe but the time is catching up on them. I think right now that's why 100 days 100 days is because it's 5 years, and now 5 years minus. So if they can just maybe have somebody the populist, but looking at integrity passion
the populist why are you calling them populist too? The populist to the like from Moretiko.
I think
born I'd like it to say go on. You don't have to go too far.
Yeah.
Minimum wage 4,000, Ipelech in 2.5, Baholo 1.8, by Hukudite 1.4, 500,000 jobs in 5 years.
Like are those
Those are, you can't produce.
But
You can't produce 500,000 jobs in 5 years.
I can
You can't.
analyze. I think mo dipolitiking kore ha ke batle gore e re ke bua ka re gongwe ka re ke bua eng sa kore ha ke bua ka populism ke ra go ithatisa batho so UDC ne ithatisa batho ka tsone dio tsone tse so gona na ba concentrate mo go keep go honoring the promises tsa bone ya no ha o bua ka kganyone ya bo go batla go review constitution ke le ngwa dio tse di botlhoka tse ene gore ba swantse gore bona ba lebe mo go tsone batho bona ha o ka ela tlhoko ka re gore ba a bua gore ha ba ise ba bui ka tsona ba ise ba so I think they have a pressure gore ba honore di promises tsa batho bana ba ntse ba everything I mean everything that UDC said and how they won it was mostly populist mostly populist and batho ba ba rata ba itatisitse ka batho gore le gompieno ana how bua gore wa re o tabo sielwa metsi because when you are not slumbering on populism or you are not basking on populism o le ka go a utwa bona potso e ba ka go botsa I think many people are looking forward gore ba 4,000 tabona tsanaleng they don't care about the constitutional review and then which is a very serious disaster. It's a serious national disaster that people are just basking on gore what is populist promises tse leng gore ba dinelwa.
Yeah,
but
okay.
There are two things on. So suddenly, you know, power is sweet. Power is monate. So the more Boko tastes the powers that the Constitution bestows on him, the more he'll become reluctant to change because monate power. Yeah. But the second thing, you know.
So like that's a psychological aspect
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah. So,
Yeah,
but the second thing is. Constitutional reforms ga re batle ebile ga re solohelo re tla nna mo le go bo masisi le bo motshwarakgole you know that was just a shame we you know Batswana still don't understand what the constitution how bua ka constitution or bua ka eng first and foremost we have to educate the nation on gore ba tlhaloganye take them on board so that they know what we mean when we say the constitution and that's going to take it's not something that can take less than a year education so we expect the UDC to first take Batswana on board and educate Batswana about the constitution and then to now institute the reforms is another year. That's 2 years, you know, and we are 4 years from elections. So, how is more like a 2026? Process, process is on. And we should have at least a year or two, total 2 years before elections, to deal with the constitution, the education, and then the reforms. So it's a chunk of work to be done.
Interesting. Taking you back a bit, earlier on you mentioned, Rory, you cannot produce 500,000 jobs in 5 years. I think the BCP manifesto, you want to produce how many jobs in 5 years? Is it 500,000 or 300,000?
No. BCP said 300,000.
So yeah, like what's the difference? I mean, like 200,000, almost the same.
Look, BCP.
Yeah.
Our head of economic affairs eleng ra maloba rena le re senye o buseng ke mmoditse sentle gore rawe a ware 300,000 o possible and
so Alessandro has said it so many times that it's possible in 5 years.
Yeah, you see, and how much like economics I think the BCP could manage maybe not 200,000 but I mean 300,000 but 200,000
why is BCP critiquing UDC for aiming high? I mean,
you see,
it's just aiming high.
No, it's not,
and then you say like 500,000
no, it's
jobs.
not.
It's
You tell they are all aims.
No. Job growth or job creation is reliant on economic growth. A certain level or percentage of economic growth. So, to create maybe between 200 and 300,000 jobs, it's feasible. How level the projected economic growth,
Yeah.
Alien Horleone UDC has projected. That projection at UDC defies economically 500,000 jobs. It still comes back to plus minus 250,000. And I'm not saying it's not achievable, 250 or 200,000. But I'm saying 500,000 was just a pipe dream.
Yeah, but also like imagine when your aim is 3 and then the other one aims 5. Like that's just in the same range.
It's the same range.
It's the same, isn't it
Come
the
on,
same
come on,
range?
Joey.
3 and 5.
No. 3 and 5 is same range. But 300,000 and 500,000. That's a difference of 200,000.
We're looking at the numbers of people or the population has a number hela mo go tang go te nya 3 le 5. Sa se buang go gore kana go tswa batho ba hirilwe ba le 500,000.
Yeah, but my point is that
quarter of a population le ke bokahe king 2/8 kana king.
There's a difference of 200,000.
What I'm saying is that Haikaro now aim at 200,000 and then the other one aim at 300,000, the other one aim at 500,000.
No,
you get it. That's my point.
So basically, Balora would.
Okay,
Decided to aim higher.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Relora rotlhe me,
Okay.
but the experts economics ha di go bolela ba gore ba if economy ka gola ka 5%, it can create so many jobs. And then obolebella worldwide gore is it possible for economy in such a time ka gola ka 10% from where it is? And then you realize that no country has achieved that. So that's an impossibility. It's never happened anyway. And the resources that we have and the dynamics within our economy. So what
of AI,
what can be attainable is this kind of percentage realistically. And this kind of percentage of economic growth can come with such a number of jobs.
So like closing it off, you saying 300,000 were BCP.
I did say Leone BCP. But it wasn't too far off. I'm saying
but it's dreaming.
Leone BCP would probably be around 200 to 250. So it's not far from 300. But that also still depends on how they're going to deal with economic growth.
Okay.
But I'm saying, 500,000 was a worse dream than your BCP. If at all your BCP was a dream. It was a worse dream. It was a nightmare.
But it should be a very good nightmare. 500 jobs. It should be a good. It should be. But
it wasn't a dream. It was a nightmare.
One thing that I like the Boko factor and their government is that they are very ambitious. Yeah, they are very ambitious. What allowed to about 500 jobs on the water? Well, can I go ahead and tiro?
Hempele no sine bare 100,000.
Which means him.
Yeah, but also let me ask about the ambition ya UDC. I was having a conversation with a certain elder man. Abu Aga an ambition, I think, are like that too ambitious, and that's a problem. I don't know. Is ambition a problem?
Who? I think only God can limit our ambition.
Huh? Your take on that? Like, is that because like I think if I'm not mistaken, the president was speaking sometimes last week. Like they want to raise 10 billion. Like if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but a certain figure.
You know what?
Yeah,
Joe. Hona le hoko ambition.
Yeah.
And hona le hoko over ambition. Over ambition. It's not realistic. It's not pragmatic.
Yeah.
So, yes, Boko is ambitious, but most of the time is over ambitious, and exactly. It's okay to be over ambitious, but when you are over ambitious, don't go public.
Or like you're setting a trap.
Yes.
If you go public, then that is when how are you public? Populism.
Yeah.
For example, yone kganyane tle bo mambisi ba kgalemelwa gore ha go molato gore o ka ha batho dilwana o bo sa tsenye mo Facebook gore go tsone di tsa go tshwana le tseo it becomes gore go kgona go bola yone value o rengwa e dira by being public ke gone go nna populist but I know they have a pressure, they have to just be realistic ba nna hatse le nako ya gone madi ona neng go te bo 4,000 bone bo from 1.8 to 1.4 I think elang ka banetse ndaba kana mongwe kana bogolo podium ya la tlhalose gore re lembogile gore eng ha se realistic eng se realistic bitso yana ya no nna on go le yana kana bana ba bone ba tla ba ra shota ka 400 ndona ba bui gore ga shota bona ba sonto re ba bui gore no le lebeleng economy di temane ga di tla be di sa recently le that's why re decide le 1.4 re sa go 1.8 but bona given khanya bona go lwa le gore ba batla go nna popular they would rather say no rari 1.4 o siame go botoka maybe le next year ta ba tsenya nna 1.8 lona ke tleleng pele go nwa metsi
like that thing of populism, to be honest, it makes me uncomfortable. Like it really makes me uncomfortable.
But Boko generally is a populist. He is a populist. I mean, even before in
that makes me uncomfortable.
There are so many promises that he made. Hey, bana ba le ba sekolo ba go ka traka ba matsa. Hey, ke a go apara pura gisa batho khotla tshekelo. You know, Ghana say, hey, you know, he's a populist.
No, like those are ambitions. Like he was being ambitious, and like he said,
you
there's
also
nothing
have,
wrong with that.
Joseph, you also have ambitions, but how let's say you cannot you have a okay. Social media is popular, right? And you can imagine how ke batla go reka se o tsenya wa post ke batla go reka se you o itsenya under pressure is kana because o bolella batho di wa tsa
that one is true no, like that one is true, I admit it,
so,
but
ambition
like, that makes me uncomfortable.
we are weighing ambition le populism. How you handle ambition also matters.
Okay, like let me ask you something. Was Masisi a populist?
He was.
Was Khama a populist?
He was.
Like was Khama a populist?
Dangerously populist.
Was Morai a populist?
No.
Not really.
No, he wasn't.
Na ke simolotse go itsore the tautuna e khona go nna barking gate ke showman motho a Hollywood. Na ke simolotse go itsore tautuna ke tshwantso e ka nna motho a Hollywood ka Khama. And then e be go tamasise go la re be go nna wese ka gore gate ke mo diragatsi he was he will dance on issues like but that's how BDP will steady talk. The gentleman who dance and Abina na maybe no the mino wa go no o sekotsi yeah
is Boko like Masisi in that aspect. I think he's the total opposite of Masisi in that regard.
Masisi o tswa di bus le di SUV and he built. You import cars and buses, and you want us to believe that they were manufactured in
Yeah. Okay. I would like us to talk about forensic audit. But before we get to that, Mr. Kgoroba, you are turning 63 this year, right?
Yeah.
You are close to 65.
Yeah.
So we're 1.4 weight. Yeah, one kang.
Ibile nna ke mmatla.
How about na re ntse re monwa? Ba tla re ntse re monwa every Friday.
O matele mo kae?
By the time I get there, it should be 2,000.
Yeah,
ka the economy ya go gola. So sengwe le sengwe se tshwantse go gola.
Are you excited like for the 1.4?
Yes and no. You know, look, I'm broke, but I'm not poor.
Yeah.
So I really, it won't make much difference. It will be extra pocket money to me on the little that I have. So, but there are people who really need that money. So it's not exciting. It's not exciting. It's not exciting to me.
Yeah.
But I'm happy for the many old age people by long they really need it.
Yeah. So like what are you like the first 1.4 that you get or 2 or like the first pension money that you get from government, what are you going to buy?
What do you buy with 1.4?
I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. For your age, I don't know.
Yeah, but for a person of my lifestyle,
Yeah.
1.4 is ke reka motlakase wa lapa la me a ba hedile.
Wow, I hate
You know,
it.
yeah.
Yeah. Forensic audit, Mr. Segaetsho.
Another something se leng gore e tshwantse gore nka be handliwa sentle hela re tshiraganya thata le populism e kana kana. Too much populism it's now becoming disturbing. Bo on your marks, forensic audit e tla next week la bora. That is very unnecessary. Forensic audit ke so se leng gore tshwantse gore se dirwe ka bo manonthotho se dibelwe batho ba bo masisa ba ke aka bona ba gote ba sentsana a se ka itse gore is on his marks wa checkiwa gore go dirwe na re emetse di result gore a bo go tshwere maike o palame ntlu go godimo a re na e la boraro kana we don't care, we want the result. I think go mo go dirwang mo re go batlang go ke di result re le batswana ya gore e tla next week e tla ile khibidu kana ile tshetla. No, it's very unnecessary. I mean I think UDC advice it wana gore they shouldn't ba santse ba ska ba itia ba ya ka masisi ibile masisi na always ka ntse o botsa gore ana le populist masisi kana ene I think o simolotse go tlogela bo populist ka di 27 kana di 28 ile gona a bona reality kana ibile tota o bon reality after ha di tlhopo di balo ke gona ba simolla thaka. I really hope that UDC doesn't spend 3 of dingwaga tsa bone ba santse ba le ka go batla go itumedisa batswana ba tshwantse gore ba itumedisa batswana ke tiro ya bona batho ba tshwantse gore ba le realism over everything and ba nne pragmatic we go tlhokagalang teng ba se ka nna go mention wa hele ka re kwa ga Trump o gantele Trump a re o rata se Trump a re o batla go gapa le ga se go a no do tseo ke tsone do tse leng gore di dia nako wa bona banna ba tshwanang le bo ke sa re gore o dira dio tse dintse sentle banna ba tshwanang le bo Putin the guy acts ha ke itse ke so bana le sovereignty ya bona wa bona gompieno ana ha batla go invade Ukraine ha ise simolo o kile utlwa leng go buiwa go tshwere di kwa le di press conference gore Monday invade Ukraine. The guy just came in because you can imagine hanga bana ba mention nka bana ba sa khona le go wina sentle. So ke ntwa forensic audit ke ntwa a se rabontle ke ntwa re montwe
ana ra bontle tsena ke
ya ke a bona re anwe ka re anwe simolotse go nna beauty contest kana popularity contest.
Okay,
re serious re tsantse re emetse di result ha ke tso ba re di result tsene ha ena timeline
like get on timeline kana
a kitsa
ana ka ha bona go batla go bona di audits ya lo itse re yana mo ke populism ya la gata.
Okay, before I give Mr. Kgoroba a chance to chip in, let me clarify on our word of the day. Populism. According to Google, populism is a political approach that strives to appeal to ordinary people who feel that their concerns are disregarded by established elite groups. Example, the question is whether he will tone down his fiery populism now that he has joined the political establishment. Now that he is, support for populist politicians or policies. The government came to power on a wave of populism. The quality of appealing to or being aimed at ordinary people.
Well, basically, had the game. The political at the end of the day, the popularity contest. But no, you don't have to overdo that. Can't tell you tell o direle thata. You are saying can't tell you kana no kare ano ono hele tsinile all about you, not about the people.
Yes or no? That like that funeral yako CKG real. Do you think it was a populist move or whatsoever? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Like let's move on now. Forensic audit, Mr. Kgoroba.
No, we do welcome the forensic audit. Look, we've had plenty of corruption in this country. Very few culprits have been taken to task. Carter being the latest. a few others back then, like here and there. But we need to address corruption seriously, because the effects of corruption in over 10 years, 15 years, they run into billions of pula. And that's taxpayers' money that could be properly utilized to serve the public. So if we allow people to run away with corruption, we are running the risk of running down our economy. Corruption runs down an economy. But my main worry is we are more focused on addressing corrupt activities, but we are taking little measures to prevent corruption. Because the status quo as it stands, the doors are still open for those who want to be active in corruption to do it. So we have not closed that. So do we want to be again in the next 5 years or 10 years release another forensic audit? We don't want that. So let's close the doors. Let's close the gaps. And we are not doing that. And the same people that we know are purported to have been in cahoots with the previous regime in corruption are now those who are now dining with the current regime.
Likes of?
You don't mention names,
Okay.
but we know these construction mafias.
Yeah.
The construction mafias are already dining with them. Yeah.
Let's look at the Harubua County maiteko ke bona nkara a tla nna manta a UDC. The front page ya Miriam Boko probes Khama Masisi over BCL closure. Kana ke ngwadi wa tsele gore I think it was 2016
2017
around 2016 around October. Maino a tswala abruptly batho bana ba lusa ditiro tsone tse ka reng UDC go re ile ka go di busetsa. People lost a lot, even the country somewhere somehow lost. Bana ba re maino a teng ka re nna le hutile e simolotse go nna ga ke tsona ba ba tla go ba re bottomless pit where by thelwa madi hela go itse gore a hella kae. So go closure a teng gore it was very re dile le one thata mo media re ga khametse ga kgagamalo e seng kana nka sepe. Ne re sielwa metsi ya la thata ne ntse le yone kgantsone tsa bonwa metsi lona le itse re irang re le ka go baakanya. So ndo tsa go tshwana le I like the fact that I don't know if Miri headline is anything to go by. Go simolwa ka ena khama o neng a roma masisi gore tsamaya go tswala maino go simolwa hela go irwe hela ya ka go tshwanetse hela go tse le ena a tsene mo teng gore ba supa go supa go
Adding you on to that, the forensic audit to look 10 years back. Yeah. The president, according to President Boko, the audit will be done by an auditing firm called Alvarez and Massal. Yeah, for 54 million pula. It will audit 10 years back from 2024. What about 2014? Yeah, like that includes former President Khama, Masisi as well. What's your take on the direct appointment? Or it was. I think we had this conversation. We had this conversation, and also, something that I agree with the president on. Why is it have to be Femezwangwen? And the president explained why. And then I think it makes sense for it has to be a Femezwangwen because as Botswana, like we are a very small community and we are interconnected. All of us. You get it?
To avoid conflict of interest.
Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you think it will work?
Yeah. I believe so. And I've also checked on the reputation of the company. It's well reputed. Yeah.
The company.
Yeah.
The company, it's called Alvarez and Massal, ANM. It's a Middle East Limited, registered in Dubai.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's got a good reputation. Yeah.
So like you are all for it?
Yeah, no, I'm all
thumbs
for
up.
It. Yeah.
Like thumbs up to UDC and Boko.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
you know.
I know, like I just want to make sure.
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah.
Something that I learned from a speech made by Oliver Tambo in 1978. Allah ANC, you know, comrades. It's not everything that the enemy is doing which is bad. Look, even if I don't disagree, I don't quite agree the UDC or the Boko.
You are using a very strong word, enemy.
Enemy, agree ne le maburu then.
With that one, agree.
No, I'm talking
like the political enemies.
No, I'm looking at. I'm not saying he's an enemy. Yeah, let me get out. Tambo nare, haratsa puso ko maburung kwa. Who were the enemy? There's some good things that they're doing. I'm saying I learned from that speech.
Yeah, the context.
The
Not
context. Yeah. There were good things that Maburu never did. And after 30 years of ANC rule, we can see, because ANC they had forgotten Mahokala.
There are good things which Maburu never did.
No, but direla lahat. That is why the health system here, South Africa has collapsed. The infrastructure has collapsed. The economy is collapsing. You know, job creation has not been there for the last 20 years. So, Maburu, people, South Africa, black South Africans will tell you, Maburu never result, but kana kwa Maburu. Nerebereka. There were jobs. What I'm saying is that as much as Maburu never sotla, but that was the bad side. But the good thing is they created jobs, and you can't take that away from them. So you now when I read that, it taught me but pick the good things, because there's always something positive about somebody. Whether you agree with him or you disagree with him.
I think from perspective, especially it's something else. But I get party it's very far left, like EFF. I think they would agree. I think OG is leaning into or embracing white capital monopoly. Whereby he's talking about the housing system. But the creation it's a very disastrous legacy to but crime South Africa. I mean, that's why Babata land back, because you know, Alexandra, and then that's why segregation any good when a chief ghost. Kore makwana ba ntse ba le ha godimo mo le ba tle mo le hatsela la bone ba ntse ba ipeile ha godimo e go tolona le ka bereka le go khothagana kwa if na ha ke khabola ka South Africa it was like just I think it hurt me ke lebeletsana ka matlo go diriswa go mo go diwa bucket system. I think, have you ever heard of bucket system?
What's that?
Toilet ya bucket.
Toilet that thing. I grew up on how mo block wait mo otlabo ba dustbin hale polo ya matlakalaza. Ko bo Soweto and all this makation go dirishwa bucket o ke yone yo idirisa go kakala mo gone. Then ha da isulumu hita kwa kolo ya makaka hita kwa la taboga ka di bucket la go thela ke tsola thela gono. Yeah. Look how extreme this is. And then Kgoroba bare makwa ke feel gore ga tswana compare relationship ya go kana enmity ya go le Boko to that one. Ibile
but I think what OG is saying, I think what OG is saying is that he learned from the speech Sarah Oliver Tambo.
Context.
The lesson, not the comparison.
Your enemy whatsoever. There's a little bit of good, then there has to be continuation of that good as you discard the bad. Body bucket system, this and that. That's the bad.
And I'm still disputing it. Or if you are going to say at least ba ba bua ba kore ba dumana na le ene re Kgoroba le batho ba buang kwa South Africa ba re bone mo economy e direlo mo lehatsheng la bone when they are as good as only being workers. And I don't know whether
are you saying there was are you saying
all along motho mo ntshela ibile ditiro tsa bana ba di bua go itse no go twang ha go twe these white collar jobs go twa go mining go twa go kitchening go twa ya
Tsaone but are gompieno a di yo go tlhelele kana ha isare they were the best option are gompieno ha gona
are you saying there's no good that Maburu did?
No, there's a lot of
only
good that Maburu did.
Infrastructure and a few other
that's
things.
good, I agree.
The education system, the largest thing is worse.
No, haragane, but the infrastructure that's good. Like, and it's good for South Africa.
Even the infrastructure, it should be emphasized that the infrastructure never eat.
No, even unemployment rate was low. We must talk about that.
Yeah, because the blacks were as good as being employed.
But now the unemployment rate is at 50%.
Yeah, I think that one because ANC because
there's something wrong. They changed in terms of economic growth. That's what I'm saying. So Maburu, and as much as Nebalu Crew but the economy, the economy was economy well.
Yeah, all we are economy infrastructure. It was this worse.
Yeah, but anyway, moving on from that one, can't tell like the forensic audit how long? And yeah, to clarify that, how we are how long, but the faces that thing already got the face in is going to take 4 weeks, and then the next phase will be done in 9 months. Like we should follow later. So yeah, I don't know how satisfying or unsatisfying.
Of course, it's difficult for them to put a timeline. You don't know what challenges you are going to encounter. This is an investigation. So investigation you are not sure. So yeah, it's difficult to put a timeline to it.
Yeah. The other day, the member of parliament for Tlokweng, let's do away with specially elected members of parliament and introduce proportional representation system. What's your take on that, OG?
Yeah, I wholly support that. Yeah, I wholly support that. Proportional representation, I think in the hybrid on. But you know, Kgoroba populism, because
how?
No, Kgoroba populism. I mean, he's UDC.
Yeah,
it's the same UDC that's taking advantage of the current system. I'll go back to what I said the last time. You have been unfair for BDP, BCP, and whoever. Specially elected councillors. That's where he should start. That injustice there. But what is popular now and forgetting the immediate wrong that is done by the UDC. Come on.
Okay.
And he benefited from it. Come on.
You mean like as a party?
No, yeah, as a party. Yeah. BCP. Ko BCP win nende. Tonto specially elected is 2 per constituency. Tonto go tsawe 2. Ko dumelang go mbienan. Nkeba ena ipeketse 2 specially elected. Go win the Gwen. No, what's into by UDC? All over. Lucas go Faga pressure. More specially elected councillor BCP kana leko BDP. But with BDP I would say you know, but with us, BCP, because this was a song that we were singing together, BDP, because BDP nearly diraya. So opinion should start go ground A, but it's about proportional representation. But the foundation.
Okay, kindly explain what he means a proportional representation system.
Oh yeah, proportional representation is South Africa. Whereby the BDP has 31% popular vote.
Yeah.
The BDP would be having more seats in parliament than the BCP. Because the BCP has 20% popular vote. So the BCP, the coalition, BDP, the BCP. Because with 20 and 31, they would be having 51%. The UDC, in 87, popular vote. It would be more position. There is proportional representation. So it's a percentage thing. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Your take on what
what
Mr. Sekgoko said? Like, do you agree with them, or you believe Loena is being a populist as well?
I wouldn't say he's being a populist. I would say gongwe ka se gore ba se buang ko gore ba tshwantse gore ba bue ba ntse ba eta ba ithetsa gore go na le dilo tse dingwe tse e leng gore di ko morago tse e leng gore ka ba di le tsone yaanong gona yana e ka re ba batla go sounda politically good mo pele ga batho.
Yeah.
But it's so sa se buang it's basically not really populist. Ke so se e leng gore e ka re se ka diragala ke tsone dilo tse e leng gore ra di eletsa most di ka re benefita rotlhe.
What's the okay? Because now I don't think there's anything wrong with the specially elected members of parliament. Like, what's the role and what's the idea behind the specially elected member of parliament? Stuff like that, but what's the aim yet?
Special co-parliamenting, it makes sense.
Yeah.
But co-cancelling, it doesn't.
Okay.
But parliament, let me focus co-parliament. You see, how democracy can deny you the caliber of parliamentarians that you want, or the caliber of cabinet material that you want. So the whole objective and intention of this specially elected members of parliament, di tlhopho di ka tla di ntletse ka bo Manake le bo Talita le bo Moswane ba ileng gore ke feel gore tota ga ba suitable for cabinet positions. At least especially elected e ka nthusa gore ke itlhopele now within society. Ba ka tlang ba thiba di phatlanyana tse e leng gore democracy kana di tlhopho has denied me. But the other objective behind it ne le gore they are marginalized groups. For instance, gona le bo disabled. City engwe tshontsho me ga wa go tsa motho o emelang disabled e be le gore le ene caliber ya gagwe. And then wa go tsa motho o emetseng the sports fraternity, for instance. The youth, for instance. O wa go tsa motho o emetseng maybe the trade unions. O wa go tsa motho mongwe o emetseng di kereke, me caliber ya gagwe o potential ya gagwe e ka kgona gore a deliver at a cabinet level. So ne le gore these groups should be afforded that opportunity also. So it has been abused and misused over the years by the BDP. And UDC didn't even do that also. Yeah.
Especially elected councillors, like is it the same?
No, especially
like the idea was the same or what?
You are an idea. You are an idea go tlhelele ne le gore ke tlabo ke o jole Tsaone ba ne ba le mo campaign team ya ka ke ba leboga ka gore ba 5 years old ene ba robe sengwe ba je sengwe. It's all about that. Go jesa batho hela to appease your followers or your campaign team or whatever.
Yeah.
E kura ke le ne le ntse le batla go ke le la nna le keletso ya go bitsa Daisy Malati. I think ke yone kganyene le botlhokwa gore nka be gongwe le ke ela mmotsa gore o dumela gore tota o na tshwantse go ra especially elected ebile wa go representa eng kana wa go gore council kana I think mo there's a very ke go moding ke dilo tse le gore ke ra re le gompieno you can just walk into council o bona mo councilor but ha ka re go twa ma councilor ba ba tluang di special skills ha ke itse gore go tlhalosiwa ka tseleng tsenya gono but o tsantse gongwe o botse bone gore go di anahala hallo hore malatsi wa akanya gore gongwe o specially elected go counseling gore wa go tsisa change he kana input he kana eng wa bona.
Yeah.
But gona le ba bang ba ile gore go tsengwa hela tota, but I'll defend this. Yeah, Daisy is a Polish politician.
Okay.
Yeah, and he knows what's good for the people. He has the interest of the people. He has the interest of the people at heart. So how wa go tsenya Daisy go? Ha ka ska to ga corruptega, but he's one of those by long gore they can even
ke background
le corruption because also go, you know, Daisy has been in the struggle for many years. O ka bua against corruption ga ile re teng ko counseling, delivery of services o ka bua, you know, he understands that
as an example le gone gore a re bolelele ka gore gongwe re be re bua re wena Daisy ha re ka lebella go ngo lebeletse sekomanisi sa gago mo bo o naledi kana kae o itse mathata a batho o itse di issues tsa batho e be re tla ra go bona le khetele le tshwana le Chief Kgosithebe re yang yone o batlang go counseling wa go ne re tabe re mmotsa re gongwe ne re batle na ka bana le tere mmotsa gore monno ya no yena wa go counseling wa go dira that's why no itlela go motho o sala nile mo counseling 5 years a khaba tsa ma change dikolo mme ga o tsana go counseling go na re gona re tsamaye di counselor ra go di khaba re tele gore no mothako wena ga nke a bua sepe ha itse o ka bua eng because a ke ro tlopile ka gore gongwe na a fuela kolo ya ga Joseph a campaign kana a ke ro ga utlwa ke re le khet but Daisy ona wa ile mo ga gore kana Daisy go a itse gore no monno hela tsana go counseling ke motho ka debate and issues tsa batho mo ground yone but the likes of Yellow Man. I remember he's the one of the councillor wrote I remember na kongwan tira gore ke kwele ka di gati stormwater drainage an tshwenya tota batla gore khanya teng tota etsene mo gazette and ke di shitseleng gore gompieno ana ha le ko a national newspaper you won't even concentrate mo doing something but you see how wa bona le bo Days gompieno ha mmolela ka mathata a batho ha ke tsore ha mo tlo simolla go nna snobisi I would really like to see him here because I'm going to national bisi ngo setsa no a le mo re abusa
go setsa para slim fit ile
bona le ba ka tele ka sa mmono itse it was go na interesting wa itse apere jone di skinny jeans tse ke ka di skinny ne ke batla go mmona itse I think I really ke na le ba ka le tele ke sa mmona I hope gore gona na gongwe ha mo re abusa because ke ke bona mo Facebook e kare o mo defensive moding hala ha bua mo defensive mode
what about our lovely Tuna Moalusi I think like she's
no Tuna the argument can only be Onaloko BCP, she's been given an opportunity over and above Babanzemba loko UDC, especially go AP Karonazwa AP.
Yeah.
But she's a product of the struggle, like Bodais.
She is.
She's a product of the struggle. Yeah. And she knows what the struggle is. She knows the challenges an ordinary Motswana out there is facing. So she
another good value is loyalty. Yeah. The likes of loyalty, you can be loyal to the ground, you can be loyal to the people. The likes of those people have been loyal. They have been loyal to the cause. And then how Monela was specially elected and they know the pain. You can imagine we can't have let them be few. Let them be few because can't tell when I gore blind no fuela kana no campaign it everything with politics. That's why when I do it level corruption. That's why we are populism. They should overdo anything. Limit. How similar when I limit over to but drunk with power. Which was the case with the masses. You can imagine, especially elected. It's basically sometimes you can force someone to people. Some of Masis's ugly traits was that he could pick Messerama or BDP. I justify when I'm mono BCP. That's when Babi to pay with Hoku, because he was corrupted with power, very drunk with power.
Yeah.
How about more Telitra? Can't tell you, special elected, why am I like canceling? Wow, Passadio, that is making sense just because you know that the body is better than about when we really especially elected, are we really sepa o direla gore ma UDC ba nne bantsi ko parlamente o direla gore ba nne bantsi ko council ke ngwa di weakness tsa yo because you can't tell me gore ke mang ke bogolo whoever is specially elected ha ka ba vote against UDC I mean hela go ta go molao ke yo e be ba bona gore Boko ha dirisentse ba go vote leng sa ke ngwa di legacy tsa Democrat tsone tsa gore go no go budulalo hela go tlhophiwa.
Yeah, well, it says here, originally the purpose of the specially elected members was to create representation in the National Assembly for minority groups of the country. Later, the MPs would typically reserve the spots for people with sought-after skills. Yeah,
yeah. Some of these skills, they are very natural. Some of this, some are not necessary.
Beauty man again, especially. What skill was she bringing? I saw parula, you know. Was that a skill?
Yeah.
No, but being fair to more Beauty, I think she grew into a politician. Ona kona gore bona gore ka re wa gola matata teng ke go bua ga go parliament le go bua nyana ga go parliament mono go batlile go tshwana le ga bo Ramaele gompieno go ga kwa tla tsena go parliament yo ya ka bo kana bua maloba re it's a time theft or something.
Yeah.
Kwa tsena go parliament o tla o emegela o ipona gore o tlhophilwe ke batho ba tshwititshwiti ya batho o ba emetse gore o emetswe ke batho gore o gakwelle saleshando go thanka UDC gore ke eng o sa congratulate UDC ra go dira melao le nga ile gore batho ba tsena go parlamenteng go ba simela ba tla ona that's ke ngwa diwe tse bokwana di bua malo.
What's your take on what the president said maloba about MPs getting ko parlamenteng ba like ba sa buidio tse di botlhoko?
No,
like the other day onore ha barare don't you dare fail. It wasn't
you're asking him a very relevant question. Ebile ga ntsa le go a compare parliament ya bone the quality of parliament ya nakwa ga go ya gompieno because ke ga kologela parliament ya lona a kitso ya ka gone kganyene gore ne le itse gore diwa tsa lona ka tsa no gona gore ke tsone diwa tse Boko a le kang go di kgalemela ke ra ke example kana go tse dingwa ke example ka tla be nna ka re ke a wa check mo tabeng re Kgoroba e mare ke ipotsa gore first ke botsa potso gore first re ya di toilet go mo go ditsane senior nyanya because a kanya gore king o dila le mathata a batho ba kgaolo a gago so mostly they were too bone ba le mo di constituency bontsi ja bone gona le gore ba and they overlooked at national issues.
Answer that OG.
You see it still comes back to the issue of populism. There was no need for him to say it where he said it. These are issues that you say caucusing. Lene, as much as he was saying my parliament take
showboating
frivolous issues ko parliament, that was frivolous of him because such an issue like caucusing e be bua tlogelang gore di ela nako ka go bua ka defense di buang serious issues, so he was also frivolous.
No, everything like everything that the president does right.
Right?
Yeah, populism.
How right is right?
How right is right? Wa go bua ka kganya defense wena.
Okay, well, like
public. Le na go bua ka defense there.
Okay, well, like
ke nga sa bui le bona go caucusing.
O izuraring ari gona le we aka khalemelang batho ba le gona le go ba example ya metle be nna extreme kore gore mo you know that se go se khona gore se wa ba tshwanna go tlhatswa wa shena gago in public.
True.
Those are the things that we should look in. Yeah.
So like what I'm asking is that okay, or had this populism word like it's been used a lot today. So I don't care about
it's been I don't know, it's populism has a word but ba abuse populism.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask my question. I know everything that maybe like the people feel or okay, no, the president or the government is doing this thing in a right way. Yeah, populism. Like, how do we separate doing right and populism?
Which MPs was he addressing? He was addressing UDC MPs, I guess.
Like all the MPs.
No. He's got no right. No, he's got no right to address. BCP
like he's the president.
No, yeah, he's the president, but
he has every right to address the MP too.
No. He's got no right to instruct them ba bue eng ko parliament. No. He's the president. But hana right ya gore ama BCP buang se se buise kana ma BDP. He's got no right. So na bua le ma UDC.
Yeah, Mr. Kgoroba, when I bua le di MP, when I bua le members of parliament.
Ha ile gore na bua le
members of parliament.
Ha ile gore na bua le members of parliament. Hana thata ya go dictate. Ha ile gore BCP ba tla go isa khanya di fester. That's their choice. He can't tell them or basketball.
Manifesto
he can't tell them or no. Let's get la go bua ka di fester kana mabati a dikolo. No, he doesn't have that right. He doesn't control. Well, I think you can't control what the BCP or the BDP say.
I think that he's taking it literal. I think we like there are more serious issues to be discussed in parliament. Let's focus on that. Like there are more serious issues to discuss in parliament. Let us focus on that. Yeah.
He's got no authority to tell the BDP and the BCP what to discuss in. He's got no authority. The only authority that he has is parliament UDC. BCP, he's got no authority.
So, like, the president cannot advise all members of parliament, like, what advice about
he can, but he cannot advise them on what to articulate ko parliamente. Dumelan Salejandlu, Little Lucas or whoever, keep on eba la langore, lo nama BCP, la rubueng ko parliamente. Boko can't come and do that.
Dictating is a big word, Mr.
I think you need to move Kgoroba out of a technical aspect of that issue. What you are trying to ask him is, kana presidente ke presidente o ho na addressa ma parliament aba addressa on behalf of Botswana,
on behalf of the nation.
I think
yes,
you took too long to discuss the
like he gets it.
So and he's taking it in partisan thing. So ena anare jo are president korona president hela ka addressa di judge go ha di judge go mpieno gore ke a bona gore go ntsana anna general, but then ena anna general, but asa how go mpieno ha ka kwa ha ka no president ha ana a tswana go bua sepe ka di judge ga tswana go bua. So he was dealing with the legislators and the legislature. No. Judges, as much as you can criticize the judge.
No, judges are appointed by the president himself.
And then the parliamentary, the legislature are appointed by us.
Yeah, yes.
And then they appoint him.
Yeah, yes. But he didn't. He was competing. Lema BDP, lema BCP, and they are still competing with the UDC now. So you cannot tell them or no buanse sabui na haelo re ko BCP di tonto kwanta di fenster di are berekela ra go di bua boko ga ka toro bolelo re ra bua di tonto kwanta because rona re bua se re iteng gore se tla re berekela ko di topo wa bona. So boko ga ka ra nya se buing di tonto kwanta di fenster no re na le leadership ya rona e tla re bolelo di tonto kwantse ga di re berekele tswa mo go tsona. But if BCP filor di tonto kwanta di fenster le mabati a dikolo di a bereka, we are going to talk about them, and Boko cannot come and tell us gore se ke ra bua ka tsona. He can't.
Are you saying the president was wrong to advise gore there are more serious issues to talk about than defense there?
No, we know the serious issues and we talk about the serious issues.
No, are you saying that he was wrong to say that?
Well, to imply that there are more serious issues, he wasn't wrong.
Okay.
But to tell us, he was wrong. He can't do that.
Like to advise you or like...
No. We cannot, as BCP or BDP, take Boko's advice. We can't. He can't advise us. It can't happen.
Yeah, speaking of that, you mentioned he's the president and like this, the opposition camp. You posted on your socials, Maloba, about the coalition idea, BCP, BDP.
Yeah.
Tell us about that. Do you want that coalition? Do you want BCP and BDP to?
No, I think the question should be like start from Nehela. Arakonele coalition, BDP, BCP. Korabat arba to na generic wa bona. Are di le ene le motho le ngoro to getse BDP a tlogela bo BDP. We are not even going to focus on khanya go rotlo ge ditse ke khama kana ke ma politics. Khama ke o dule mo BDP, but the legacy still remains. It's still the same BDP e ba reng e corrupt. And ha ba re lebella di ideologically BCP le BCP.
Yeah.
Ha the BCP le BDP. Ke di o tse pedi tse go re BCP e ka maloba ke buile ke re go re BCP Di-politics tsa di tshwana le tsa BNF le UDC bo UDC. So ga o tla o kopanya BDP le BCP re gore ba go le ka go kopanya oil le metsi ka dikgoka ha re lebella ideologically ga ke moarabe ke bua kgang ya teng ya gore ha re tsena gone go then re mmotse gore o batla go overlooka tsone dio tsa gore ideologically ke di-party tse e leng gore
different values
ga di tsamaye go golowane and then re mmotse gore ke ene ga se ene wa maloba gape a bua mo podcasting yone gore he wishes BDP death. Now he wants BDP when it suits him. Now he wants BDP gore a kgone gore ba tsene go pusong ba batla go dirisa BDP le stepler o na batla iswa maloba tsa tsene rile gore ha ta tsena mo posting a ba re okay now ke batla BDP because re batla go wina ditlhopo o tlhokana BDP yone a ga masisi yone ya buang ana bua ka ena a o e tlhokala gone go mpieno ana ile gore is he an opportunist? Is he opportunist?
BDP ya motena.
I think basically we can ask you, are you trying to be an opportunist in that manner? And le gone gore a medio tse di a tshwana di a tsamaelana le BDP le BCP. Ala go utlwana go itlhela hela.
Yeah, Mr. Kgoroba. Yeah, answer.
Yeah, you know, earlier on when Tsaone we gore politics is about populism. Huh?
Yeah.
Politics is also about opportunities.
The reader are superstar.
you know. Yes, I did say I wish the BDP dead.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, the enmity, Democratic Alliance, the ANC, for South Africa. It's huge. It's huge. They're in a government of national unity. Not that they wanted it. Not that they liked it. They didn't have a choice. Now, what I said is that the political trend in Southern Africa right now is going towards coalition government. Talking about me having said, I don't like the BDP. BCP, coalition le BDP. In 2014, di clip tsa teng di teng mo social media. Boko a bua gore ha ke tsa puso ke a go tlhatlhela Ian Khama e be ke mmeola seriri. You know, ke a go tlhatlhela Ian Khama bo ke mmeola seriri.
Yeah.
2019 and 2024. Khama le Boko ba ntse jana. Ibile gompieno ba busa mmogo. Khama is a de facto diplomat wa na tsa ma go buelela Botswana kwa I buelelang teng. And ha beola seriri bile ga a tlhathelwa ka strong.
Yeah.
Now that is politics. It's about opportunities because Khama is as imolla lwanza Khama. Khama came found sponsorship for Boko. Na tsontsa di gana ka gore na le wa go meola seriri.
No.
So earlier on, Haribuaka proportional representation. Nikela Rager. Hanele proportional representation Mobotswana Humpie. BCP and BDP would be in a coalition. Not because they like each other, not because they want to, but because 51% Ibabonsawar, Mirakabusa more. Or the BCP would have chosen the UDC, got 87%.
You would not mind ideological differences.
Born. You know, people talk of ideology. What an ideology? Ideology. There are two things. We want a functioning health system.
Yeah.
We want a functioning education system. We want a growing economy. We want jobs. We want well-paying jobs, good-paying jobs. Where does the ideology come in here? The BDP wants that. The BCP wants that. We all want that. Every Motswana, the UDC wants that. People's Party wants that. AP wants that. We all want these five things. Health system, education system, good economy, jobs, and good paying jobs. We all want that. That's nothing like ideology. So, this is what we want for our people. Simple. And this is what the people want. More ideology, hey, white capital monopoly, hey, capitalist, communism, socialism. No. ha di yo dio tse ntse re bua ka days gona no bo days ke ba reng some years back ba ne ba preach socialism. He's a capitalist now. And I won't be surprised after this skinny jean. Because we live in a capitalist society. More socialism, more. But on the ground, that is not what is running. What is running is capitalism. Yeah.
I once asked your party president, Duma on the podcast, like one of the previous episodes that we did with him, of the idea of a coalition with the BDP as opposition parties. He said he's open to coalition as long as the values align. He said the reason why they left the UDC was because the values were not aligning. So I think what Tsaone, part of the Tsaone, what if the values are not aligning? Your party president said if the values are not aligning, no, BCP won't budge. What's your take on that?
You know, Joe. Tsaone le CEO ya ABSA. Kana senior manager tsela sentla ja sentle. Khona go nna makgaka. Tsatsi la Spanish le se mokgwa sele. Wa re gakologela ko kasi ba ne re tshela lene before in CEO. He comes back to us. The question is, do we reject him? Do we remind him or kana no itebetso no ja nna go phakalane, you know, o tsamaya le marketing. Now, BDP, dio tse ne di makgakgawane a diriswa ke puso. Gore ba mo puso. So the BDP now, it's tshwana le Tsaone Spanish vaile ko ABSA a jigetse ko kasiano. Le fro ya gagwe mo tlhadile a tsere bana a tsamaile. Wa bona. Ya no itse gore ne Joe le Chili le Ghost ke majita ka re ya no but it happened. So that is where the BDP is now.
Yeah.
And that is where
it's humbled.
It's humble.
Yeah.
It's humble.
I think go na le khanye ke batlang go isimolla ke tlo simolla pele ke blame I think ke criticize Joe. Joe, o santse re tlhaloganya Joey, Joseph, those are all your names. Joseph,
Joe man.
Joe. So Joe man. Make a little criticize. O bona le politique. Ga o simolla o le ha too much netane. Chief Ghost, I couldn't lebeletse. Hanna ke re le politika that's why I like there's a gentleman that I like his interviews but ha ba di rate gona le re ga dikale ba di hutshe. He usually makes sure gore e ka re gare ga go kwa ha le politika gore le go bua the whole day. Ntse bona le tsogo la jo la left wa area because re tsantse re boele gape go khanya gore ke mmotse gape ke mora a bua re kana gore ke gore ba ke le politiki bile na emetse ditlhogo recently and we have been discussing and let us deal with this issue and ma politiki ba rata populism whereby now even I see re Kgoroba a batla go wela mo populism yona gore okay forget about what we told people 9 years back or whatever I'm for the people here, not for when at all cost and whatever. They are even living a very huge gap more political education in Yabatobaru. They are living a very huge gap more political education in Yalhasalaro. But on to Barutia to do political ideology or Hiragala Lugiragala. Hakibato Kibata on academic Yaka Kibata good or whatever. But my politiki. They always want what works for them, and then the people last. Compare no anaka Kgoroba almost 19 years. It's one BDP no, but once by yo when I no buan it. Mwa go mwa ba bona re me go hapitse ka butšwa are kopane le BDP re. What uruta embatho ba go emetseng gape ba o ba emetseng sorry. O tla o change next that mo go tsana mo gompieno ana be motho a re a crosser a potela ka dithopo tsa ba ene ke batla go boela re gore ba ntse re dio tsa di ideology ya politiki hela gompieno ana le wena hela no even that's why batho ba ngo kgona itlela motho go tswa ideology ya politiki build ya ke dio tse dintsi di thutego le ka le hatselentseng ka teng la ka that's why South Africa had to have something saying embassy that's why bo malema ba sounder right to many people because Political, they are communist, they are leftist. So how mo le mabali ba bua ba rediwa ke batho because of their leftism. E be go nna le kganya ya bo Trump. Trump is extremely a rightist. The decisions are done they are rightist netlani. So ndio tsonetse. Ha re gore ba khala domkra ona ba khala botlatlapi capitalism untsa bua ka capitalism. Capitalism is a word that comes from political ideologism. So re gore ba ka akhala batho gore ke di capitalist ka moso ba batla go ba joina mmantsa re party ya bone ya go ikwadile ha o bala tsa mo go bala
no
we are all BCP
we are all capitalists
ba re ke di socialist ha ba tsena go batho ba batla ditlhopho they are swimming between the two o kantele ba nna di capitalist ha ba batla ditlhopho gore ba nna di socialist ha ba batla all the things that are socialist
BCP I've never
ba batla ditlhopho aba batla ditlhopho ba nna di socialist
BCP is not socialist
ha example go rang kana motho wa sa ke a go nna makgaga hela ba sena go nna hela kana capitalism ke makgaga hela ba sena go bina ditlhopho ba simolla go nna makgaga
okay
BCP is not socialist, it's social democrats. So it's got nothing to do with socialism, it's capitalism. So maybe the name social, it confuses Tsaone. But anyway.
No, but what I'm getting from Tsaone now it benefits you.
Look. No.
That's what you're saying, right?
Politics fluctuates, huh?
Yeah, no, that's
politics
true.
fluctuates. Who thought Boko le bonda ba gona no ngebe ba partner le lekgama? Who thought so?
Yeah.
Who thought di koloto gompieno ana ngebe ana le, but let me not say bo moswane le bo maile. They were anti the UDC some years back. Gompieno ana ba mo UDC. Politics fluctuate. You know, if something can work for the BCP, BCP on ya go libua ikete ya tietera. No, that's politics. I know right tietera. Tsaman le go lebella constitution, how the UDC is constituted. Ian Khama plus Moswane plus Maile, you name them. Madam Kraha ko UDC. Ba busa bo holo. Wa bon bo holo ke nene. Ke Madam Kraha ba ko UDC.
Bo winter
Bo wali bi le winter nteke montsheka, But e be go te rona re ka kra bereka le dom kra. Khama bereka le UDC. Nya. So politiki tshwana le weather ya change. So ha ile gore dipalo tsa BCP like dumela na bua se stona ke ditumela nor banna ga re tsa puso ra go tsamaisa puso ja ha re go e tsamaisa ya ka ile ya bokgama le bo masisa ke ra go e tsamaisa ka tseleng terms and conditions of reference and agreement.
You say ask him, does it work for the people?
The only thing that works for the people is delivery of the promises. That's all. No, if we believe we can deliver, and I believe we can.
Why?
Huh? Because I trust in Dumela.
Abana vice president a go bena modom kra ba sa change ntse le wana madom kra ba oreng ba ntsiana ba tlo na ba
Agre pele ga kana.
No, but he said they're humbled now, so like now they're willing to listen. Like with four plus,
but he said
4 plus 15.
He said no. Ona ba dirwa gore ba go zona. But ha ba thusa go ina puso ba tla ba simela
ba ba se no se mo pusong a kere.
Makakata ba
Ka ba se no se mo pusong. Ka ba rena le bona a kere. Ha re ba
re ka re bona ba itse makaka ba ka dira 50 years. Ha ile gore ba itse makaka ba ka dira.
Let me ask you something.
Makaka bona go ra ba intlo.
Ke ba se makaka go UDC. Ke ba tla nna makaka ba le ko BCP. Ba se makaka go UDC.
Ke ba
bona madom kra go UDC. Ke ba se makaka.
Nya gona madom kra go UDC.
Ga ba yo. Khama maele
asma BPF.
Anya BPF ki BDP.
Le PK BDP.
LP.
Ya ke ba le ga ba makaka ba. Ya ke o ka. Ke wa ka yo ba lo ti wona ba ke go nna makaka le go rana.
Okay. Le BCP ki BNF.
Straight.
Le bonji.
Kana go wena mo go ra nkere. Politiki tshwana le weather. Ya no isere go nna se ramerere nya ra parebelere.
Ga so ba go nna makaka wa se ka gore ba na le 58 years ba le makaka.
Influencer when I was like
they are more experienced in makaka than you. Lona le batho ba strike.
Kana rare. Dom kra hetla bo se mo pusong. Ele knows. Etla bo tshotse 50% there, BCP to 50%,
Okay, point taken.
whatever.
Point taken.
So Rahu ira ditumelano.
Let me ask you something.
Ha re bile UDC West ha gona ditumelano tse di dirilweng. Nna tla gore na le ditumelano. Yeah.
Let me ask you something, OG. Point taken. One of the previous episodes, there was a debate between you and Tsaone. You are saying the BDP is dead. Tsaone was saying it's not. So yeah, you said BDP is dead, and you were adamant on that. If you already, if you already BDP negare lenyalo la bahumi, like chance. So now that you want to form a coalition with them as the BCP, what are you saying? Is BDP still dead or not?
When I said it's dead, did you believe me?
Who?
You.
No,
when
not to be honest.
Did you believe me?
No, I don't know.
Hey.
Like, to be honest, Nike. Wenwar is not dead.
Born.
Wenwar is dead. Nike.
Hey, I said so.
Hey, is it
so.
still dead or not?
Hey, I've realized it's not dead. and let me tell you.
Okay.
Let me tell you why.
Okay, so it's not dead.
No, it's not dead.
Okay.
You said 1%. UDC 37.
So
Kgoroba is dead.
Okay, so that time someone was right and you were wrong.
Kgoroba is not dead.
Hey.
Yeah. I'm human. I'm human. Kira the pause. Hey, I'm not a machine.
Yeah, no, you were right to say BDP.
Ya no mere Kgoroba di poso tso di dira go non tso di limita. Kana motho o tsantse gore a campaign ne a ole politiki next time ba tla go ona re ware maloba. I think consistency ya le politiki e tsantse gore le tsone re ne re di lebeletse because gantele le wena o tloheletse o sabeletse go nna populist ha o tswa house now
poso e tsala le motho. Poso e tsala le motho ha ka kwa re motho a limita diposo. O le wena o tlo no dira diposo ha o tla di dirang teng. Maybe not here, but o tlo no mongwe le mongwe dira diposo.
Then you should forgive Kgama.
What I should what?
You should forgive Kgama.
Forgive somebody who led a regime that killed. Kana problem gore somebody is dead here. So that's why there can't be forgiveness. But motona thudile koloi ya ka tlhapetswe, I can forgive. Hey, but I can't give moto bolaile motho mo.
Yeah, let's talk about the RFQ. The RFQ conversation. Yeah, like that's something that you always talk about on your social media. Yeah, lead it and then let's have a conversation on that.
You know, one of the reasons but honorable like it really unemployed relevant is because people are sitting on two jobs. You find a government official a bereka mogedisa ke puso. Ka ha ele businessman kana businesswoman because go irwan di tender kana tsone di RFQ ka teng. Kore wa mogela ka ha mme ke ene business ya di RFQ ke ena ga pasa plan ka ha ona le ditsala tsa go kana masika a gagwe. You know, so that business ne tshwantse gore thuse jo sa bereking Tsaone o sa bereking Ghost o sa bereking gore a nna ya go loma sengwenyana a kgone go tshela le ene. No modirela puso o tsere business opportunities that could have gone to two other batswana yanong di RFQ tse go ja ene a le nosi. You know, ka gore system ya teng ka ha ntseng ka gone mo kereng UDC tabogela di forensic audit me ga ya tswala mabati. Corruption in ntse tsweletse go a tsena motswedi wa teng o ntse o tsweletse. So RFQ serious immediate review is necessary. Yeah.
What are the intentions now within? I mean, yeah, you are close to some of the people who are in power. Like, are there any plans?
Well, I've told them about it. Yeah, I've told them. I don't need to mention their names, but I've spoken to the top leadership about it. But
Obviously,
nothing is happening.
Yeah.
What makes you think I don't have access to Boko?
Boko doesn't answer your calls. That one you know.
Say who?
He doesn't take his calls.
Boko doesn't like you at all. No, you don't like him. He's going to pull a note.
Any your take on that?
I think I don't really have a take on that one. One of the agenda items. Kids iwela ka tla se ga yone forensic audit ya motho re gore ba re nka be go sala go tswetswe metswedi ya yone metswedi yone ebe anong ke bona gore o bua nnete gone ka kganya gore a go simolle go tswala gore it was very strategic go ntsha bo tota ha ke itse gore na ntshetswang wa bana ha ile gore gate ha ile gore go belaela gore ngwe was in cahoots with batho bangwe ba ile gore ba ka nna ba itlhela menwana a bone mo di investigation tse di dirwa go na gantshiwa mme Priscilla ngwa iswa go sele gore DCEC a ntse di le tsone dio tsa go mo e re ha ile ho ya nebe go ke mongwe a metsweditse ya e buang e tswetse nyano ngana a RFQ gonana go ntse go a tswela hela batho ba ntse ba ja di tender ya but let me just say gongwe le se ga gona gore ka irang rona kana ha re ko ba busi ba leng teng ba tsang ditshwetso let's say ha se gore batata ba e hitlhelwa ba tla hitlhelwa ba le kwa ga tebebe ke forensic audit ba ntse ba ja tsone di RFQ tsone tse let's hope so.
Some members of parliament have indicated that the government should consider introducing prison conjugal visits because a lot of families and marriages are breaking apart.
I think it's I think ke tsone tsene bo kwa di bua. I think some ministers I think go parlamenteng kwa I think there's a lot Boko na khalema botla ona re bone bo tshwana le across board because are motho a dire so se leng gore ga se a tlhole gore hanka ka gore motho ga a tsewa prison kana ke rehab ke go mo rehabilitate le go ntsha mo society
to punish you.
To punish you are punished gone gore tota ibile ga rena sepe le gore wa tshwana go robalana kana rena sepe gore ga go robalana ga rena sepe gore go ira galang ga rena sepe gore o irang ga o tsena kwa gore ya re ngware re tla bona gore ira but then you ware kana gape mosadi a tsamaya you can imagine I mean that how to go like batho bangwe a ke tsore ba rileng ha ba bua 2020 imagine re na le di visits tse 8 let's say we are prisoners here batsadi ba rona ba tla at the same time go kana go control wa dinako go control they need to be control bana ba disang magola go kwa bana le tiro entsi thata ba e dira gompieno be re ba okeletsa di role ka gore mosadi a go tsile ho Joseph go tsalanka a go ya le facilities tse dingwe gore ba khone gore ba ipotiketsa so a bona gore mo parliament o tsena hela ko parlamenteng kwa hela ka kitsurana ba itumela thata kana go iragala.
Someone was asking that is it a coincidence that they're saying this kana go ileng gore our big brother Kata
that was insulting.
Yeah.
You know le go le ka go tlhokela mogolo maitseo ka tsone dilo if mo parliament that na boletsa go no go hela it should be called to
no order. Like it's not an MP like someone on social media gore like what commented on the post
ke dile le commenta ga gore ha ile gore mo parliament wa rialo ke dumanang le ena ha ile gore let's say mo parliament na direla go mo parliament a tena ta ba le mischievous go akanya gore mogolo go kwena mo mathateng o batla gore 7 years a go a hela na re mogolo o batla gore ha impression a gore mogolo kile a ro batleng ke gore ga bagolo.
Yo, Ozi, are you good? Hey, like the sun is creeping in on us, man. Yeah, you good? Yeah, you still okay? How many minutes are we left with there? Okay, 5. Yeah, can 5 do? Okay, I would like us to. There's this talk, Ozi and Tsaone Segaetsho, yeah. On paper, there's a VP, but in actual, like in actual form or whatsoever, there's the VP, like who's carrying out the duties. You know, what's a pure head at the VP, sharp. I don't know. Do you have?
We are going. Just let us just go straight to the point.
Yeah. People always say Remo has again a VP, sharp. Okay.
I think they're being mischievous.
Okay.
I've never felt Remo has having. Gore la ha ke ntse ke theogetse go na le VP ya rona ke random le the power ya itshwarang ya itshupa ha ke tso bona ba buiswa ke batho ba that's why it's mischief because ha ke tso re ba batla go achieve gore
do you think they're trying to drive a wedge between
it's so in seats of discord because wa mpolela lo gore nka go bolela hela ke gore ke ro bona Ndaba is VP and ke minister of finance o hile portfolio hele tona e leng gore e ntse yalo so o ira sentle nna go tse dingwe mo hasale na ba a be go nna le sa se dirang ho mo hasa wa ba le on his right gore a na go tse dingwe ba act as VP because mo no kana khona gore na go tse dingwe ba a tshwana gore nne finance minister gape nne VP gape ha ke tsore ba nyatsa mo VP ya re ndaba kana ba le ka gore ba re ha ba bona mohasa a bua mo TV ba akanya gore a re ndaba le ene o tshwantse gore a nna le mo TV beke le beke kana yang hanka o dilo tse gongwe ne re ka di bona nako eneng ke bona ka re slamba ka re mo moriting wa ga re re morwai gompieno re a mmona ndaba o teng is active not ceremonial like ka re slamba na le ceremonial ta
Oji.
Yeah, I think Tsaone we garetse sentle tota. You know, obviously having been part of the AP from inception, I still have a lot of contacts within AP. And tota le tiro e ntsi e nkebe e dirwa ke ene president. Behind the scenes, he dirwa ke ene, he dirwa ke Ndaba. So tota Ndaba is more or less running the country.
It's the more or less
Brazil ene tota ha ile California ile kai tshwara di press conference a bua di tse ntse re di discuss. Tota that's ene Brazil ene tota.
Na mo ntshitse boko mo teng ka gore re belela gore conflict.
No, gore ke ra gore
gore
ke batla go
go khalanda.
Ke batla go khala ba ba.
Ising fale ya bole ka ntene.
No, ke a mo khale. Ke batla go supa gore Ndaba is not only the vice president, but he's also partly the president.
Yeah.
So he's far from being.
Do you see any of his weaknesses so far in Ndaba as a leader and as a? Do you see any, or he's infallible, close to angelic?
No, Ndaba has got these weaknesses. He's got these weaknesses, and I've said that before. He trusts too much.
Are you saying he's a yes man to Boko?
No, not to Boko. Hela kore ke ra hela gore mabane malobane re bua ka kganya trust again. Gore Ndaba, he can be too nice, and he can be kana how too nice kantele opportunist take advantage of you, So that's his weakness. Yeah. No batla weakness ke go boleletse
ya no nkering ke botsa dipotso tse dingwe gape motho a nkarabile ya o nkarabile wa bona o nkarabile ya motho a go arabile o go arabile ke ne ke batla go itse ga o nkarabile.
Yeah, would you consider going back to the AP? Like, would you consider it?
I wouldn't say yes.
Like you wouldn't say no at the same time.
But like I said, politics is like the weather. You just never know. But I don't see myself going back to the AP.
Like, would you consider leaving BCP?
No. I don't see myself doing that because, like I did say the other time, or I'm no longer that active. So, ke go AP, ke go dirang because I no longer want to be active in politics.
When you are mentioning politics, like a weather, are you talking from a perspective ya le politiki kana from wa botsentse le batho mo teng ba ile gore ba le tlhopha gore the masses ba ile gore ke bone ba ile gore ba tsa di tshwetso kana ba ile gore whether a itshwantse go tsamaya ka bone kana e tswa ka lona le ma politiki.
No,
does it benefit them being weathery like that?
Kana we decide on what to do, looking at what would be best for us. Sometimes what would be best for us, the people, or what we thought would be best for us, the people will reject it. Sometimes they will embrace it. It's a gamble. Yeah. But first of all, you run with your conviction as a politician. Before the people, it's about your conviction. And the people will decide on that. Or do they agree with
at the end of the day, when about Pangor, Kgoroba a simolotse go nna tsala le masisi a mme re tota re mo tshepe. That's how they also and that's how they also decided, and Batswana decided gore a re mind botsala ja ga Khama le Boko a re mind moruru wa ga Khama Ntsholo it's decision e tseng ke Batswana ka 29 ke di 28 a re mind Khama se tronkong o siame le ntse le ho at the end of the day decision di tsa
Yeah, this one would be best suited to Tsaone, even though like we have to discuss it, all of us. It looks a show. The Sedirwa PC case. out in Bangladesh.
Story bila bua ka leng la molapisa Toto gongwe ke le ka akanya gore patle me ke tlogele re molapise ke mogolo tota.
Hey, yeah, there's that as well. Yeah,
Let me just brush on
I could
it.
tell that. Yeah, like there's something that I'm forgetting.
Yeah, the namesake.
Remolapi said something about journalists. Yeah.
Na re ga tloga re Kgoroba.
He said, journalists, yeah.
Ate re bua maka, the journalists were questioning. They were asking a very genuine question gore ke eng ka re o kgapetse ko thoko yana kana ke eng ka re go iragalang. People are concerned ka wena gore ke eng ka re o kgapetse ko thoko yana. Irile hela tsa Mike mogolo a ba re lona kana le buishwa ke tlala. That's what he said. And then I was asking myself gore ha bua ka tlala. Is he trying to tell us gore a ene wa ja yana gona ana gore a re bona gore gona le batlala le bare ke utlwe re Kgoroba bua ka dipolitiki gore tota ne re bua ka khanya ideology nna ke tsona ke le put into task ma politiki gore ke tsone dio tsele re rekisetsang batho le re go di ana kana politiki ya ga re bo re molapisi ke yone ya gore ba khera ka gore batho ba se ka ba bolwa ke tlala gore ga se ena tshwantsong gore a tla o petlala ya rona e le gore ga di journalist he's the last person to be talking about tlala. And then speaking of tlala, ga ba bolwa ke tlala 58 years. And then tlala gompieno a o batla gore ka gore Batswana gompieno ba ba tsere ba ba ntshitse mo tlaleng now ya no ke gona le mogang difference between tlala le kgoro kana ke batla go tlhaloganya gone gore re molapisi tota go bua nnete na sa buisi di journalist sentle na ba mmotsa gore ke eng ka re o kgapetse go ke mogolo. He should be tota ga ke chairman agree he should be a motho uniform but other than go divide batho against le go ikgata ka batho nka ba kile a bua hela gore nya nna le re Boko re not coffee mo go re siame re a ba hela gone ho to gore ka gore kana ka neleng a ke tsore celebration ya teng gore re ne ile monate thata
the UDC galadi.
I think ke na ka pick that they become very excited about celebrating my UDC. I think I picked it the first celebration they were very I think ba le go itebala gono ke dumela gore re molapisi na itebetse o tla ikgakologela ke mogolo tlhaloganya dipolitiki tsa tlala ibile go gaisa nna le di journalist tse dingwe ke ene motho o itseng gore tlala e botlhoko tota ela se ka re ga ile gore wa ja ile mogolo a bua ka tlala a rona ka gore tlala a rona ibile a ile gore ba tlona ba ntse ba etsweledisitse ba tlona ba ntse ba etsweledisa re tla be re na le mathata yana.
Yeah, let me put up the viewers up to speed and all that. He was commenting on Khanya Gore. According to the Voice newspaper, Malapisi calls journalists hungry liars. As he was disputing as he was disputing recent media reports that the government has sidelined and forgotten about him, saying journalists were false reports to boost sales. Quoting him, ba kwala maka batho ba go oketsa di sales tsa dipampiri tsa bone.
Does he buy newspapers? Which sales?
Ba bolawa ke tlala. He said on Saturday night at the party's gala dinner before warning the government to be careful of some.
I would say that was celebratory. I think they na ba le mo gala dinner ne go itumetse ke ra gore ke ka ba forgive go no but which sales? And we tla re ke newspaper. Tlala rona ha ile gore o itse tlala rona ai tse sentle ene a re khorise re batla go khora ile gore ga gona le go khoro e lente ile gore ga khori
me at the end of the day mogolo ke mogolo a kere
nya batho mogolo ha ma pele ga batho a ipa ha pele ga rona ha le ene re gore ba itse ke le politiki re ba pele le politiki le ba itse gore khona gore e khona gore ha o sa o a le ko parliament ba itse a kere na kongwe ba kile ba khalemela kante ke mona re go tlhokiwa maitseo I think so ya ndane na sokodisa parliament e ditile na ba
sokodisa sana mara mo sibonyana go ene on tlwaela
ke ngwa dio tse di trivial tse itleng di discussiwa ya ka re ana bua ha re are maitseo na go tse dingwe a di yana na go tse dingwe re tshaba go bua dio tse dingwe ke gompieno ana you can imagine a ile gore gate journalist di tshwaro ke tlala kana ke motlaleng be ke simola ke re no mogolo he nya re tshwantse re mmolelele re ntshe motlaleng a ile gore o bona tlala teng are you buying newspapers what are you talking about which sales that is he even selling? Is he even selling? I mean I'm asking a very genuine question. Is he even selling and as a politician?
Yeah, ask
No, he's not selling.
Nna ke sa labohelwa ke mmana. Ha ke gakola go labohelwa ke mmana mo newspapereng ke. We are also like mapolitiki. We are also in a popularity contest. That's why o ka se go tse gate ke ma. O go ka tsa mongwe le mongwe ya le bo mma mo front paging. Le se gone gompieno ana go tsewa senepe. Ha re tsewa senepe a ka re le 3. Nna ke ya go nna irrelevant. Wena obviously batho ba go itse thata re gore ba o ka kwala ka ene. Gore prominence mo publicing, let's say motho o leng gore wa itsege ke ene ka re go ka rekisa batho ba ka nna psychologically batho ba reka pampiri because ba itse motho. I think banana ba bantsi bile show ya go lebelwa ke banana. You should also throw the question to them gore ba itse Ramolapisi gore ke mang, a ba itse BPP, a ba itse le gore botso ene di journalist tse ke bua gore wa roga ke journalist ya ke wa itse because botso ene ba e botsana ba bua ga re go bone mo gorementeng ya tlhakanno dithoto ka ke tlhakanno dithoto kana ke o ha kae modala ya no modala ena ba re lona la tsena o ka re wa project or something like that because re tsantse le batho ba lebelang netane ya go ba itse re Molapisi ke mang o ira mo gorementeng ya gompieno ga te ke ke advisor ga ke tse re Molapisi le gona ha advisor goremente ka ga go gama wa advice ga to ka re wa advice botoka o ka advice botoka go na le masisi gano ga go te ke ena ga pa advice ang bo re Molapisi ba bolo go nna mapolitiki a opposition le baka letele go ngakana le nna nka re ga tshwere ke talana ke ja sengwe le nna ka a change ke simolla go bua re lona le tshwere ke tla na re khotsi.
We are run out of time. Next episode re tla simolla ka the Lesedi Molapisi case. We are done for today. Mr. Kgoroba's house, a beautiful home. Thank you so much for hosting us.
Welcome, Jay. Welcome.
Tsaone, thank you so much, my brother. Chief Ghost, thank you so much. To the overviewers, thank you so much. Overview podcast. We out.
One night press up.
From the capital, this station is now the ultimate power in the universe.